everybody and welcome to this guide and tutorial for the golden shot. Difficulty level is hard and I'm going to show you 10 shots on how to bring home some chests in this version. I would say that this haul made me happy to see that we're gonna have that one because it's going to not require that many technicalities to be able to get something good, but it's always important to have the adjustment while going in taking your free shot. So before we start, do not forget to subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel. Hit that bell button as well. You will get a notification every time we do have a live stream or a new video coming up. Also, if you do want to order personalized text guides or for any tour, but maybe have tournament text guides, or you might want to have a training session, patreon.com/golf/tommy, link in the video description down below. So we press the golden shot button to take a look at what hole we're going to play. We're going to play hole number 7 from the recent tournament of the Fuji Open. So, and it is one of the Sakura hills. And as you can see here, we do have kingmakers that is possible, sorry, not kingmakers, berserker balls that is possible to win. And that is going to be so important to have berserkers when it comes to a tournament, most especially. Because the berserkers gives you a wind resistance 1, a side spin 2, and a power 5. And power 5 bolts are very valuable as you cannot get them anywhere else than in winning a tournament in Master, or for that matter winning here in the golden shot. We can win the cobalt chest as the dark blue ring. We can win the aqua chest as the light blue ring. We do have the crimson chest as the red ring. We do have the amber chest as the yellow ring. And then we do have the obsidian chest for the hole-in-one. If you do have any question or any more question about the golden shot, you can press the question mark on the top right. You can see the frequently asked questions. If you do need any more assistance, then you press contact us on the top right, and then you're able to write whatever to the Golf Clash support. So let's start by going over the adjustment. As you can see here to the bottom right there, I think something like that. On the other side we do have the golden long iron max distance with a 10% over adjustment. So that is going to be for those of you that using any form of calculator or something like that, you play it max distance with a 10% over adjustment. For those of you that don't, you do 1.66 per ring, and that is something that you use, and you of course use your head for doing that, or you may be using a regular calculator to calculate that. For those of you that don't do any of it and want it to have a little bit easier, look on the top here and you will be able to see the wind on the left column, and then we have the wind per ring, sorry, the rings on the right column. So if you do have a 5 mile per hour wind, which is 3 rings, and I made it in 0.2 steps, the wind is all between 5 to 8, so you're not going to have any different than that. So all you need is on the top here to be able to get the rings without having to understand or like to calculate it yourself. Hope that's going to help. And I'm going to go over next the landing position. We do have the red ring slightly before the rough here on the top. Super important, with the second bounce just on the right side of the dark row of the green squares. And that is of course something that is going to take a little time for you to maybe find, but it's super important as you're going to be able to get a very consistent bounce combined with a very consistent roll towards the pin. I'm gonna make it a little bit easier for ourselves. We're gonna take it up, and we do have a more as a line there. As you can see there, we do have the side of the dark green square row there, and we do have the second bounce just before the rough. There is a slight margin when it comes to the red ring by the rough, so maybe you might have like 1/3 of the blue ring just there by the rough line. But if you're looking at the target combined with trying to get the second bounce as it's shown, and then you're gonna be fine. This is going to be without spin. We always start finding the landing position without any spin. We're gonna come back to the landing position later, and now we're going to take you there, and now we're gonna look at the video. 10 shots, here we go. And as always in the video, I'm going to talk ourselves through the videos, and then we're going to summarize it in the end with spin adjustment. So we are starting by looking for the landing position, and as you can see here, we do have a 6.3 in wind, and as it doesn't say on the top row, on the row top to the left, then we're going to use a 3.7 in terms of adjustment here. No spin whatsoever I'm using here. It's just to try to find, okay, how is it going to act here? What are we going to do? And then we're going to hit the ball perfect, which is of course super important when it comes to the golden shot. We bounce here, and this, as you can see here, we're going to miss slightly to the right here. Not much, but we miss slightly. So thereby means that we're going to have to make sure that we use a little bit of side spin if we come in crosswind left to right. And then it's of course going to be a different type of crosswind, tailwind, and that's something once again I'm going to talk a little bit about in the end. 7.7, and now we do have some headwind combined with crosswind. This is a tough wind, but we're going to first start by using the landing position that we're looking for. We're going to take a look at the column to the left. We have once again in between 7.7, and we're going to play it 4.6 rings. 1 bar of side spin to the right am I using, combined with half a bar of top spin. So we're looking for the adjustment 4.6, and we're going to take our shot. So one bar of side spin to the right with half a bar of top spin. The top spin we need due to the what can I say? Due to the fact that we do have headwind. So we even lead a little bit more here, honestly. And that's something that we're going to have to, you know, tweak in the end. We get some berserker balls, lovely. And now we do have more crosswind than we do have tailwind. So this is important. It was way different than we had on the first try, where we have more tailwind than we had crosswind. Looking for the landing position with the second bounce on the right side of the dark row, and with the second bounce just before, the first bounce just before the rough with the red ring there. We're using just a slight side spin to the left here, not much at all. And here I would say we're going to have to use a little bit more side spin. The no top spin or back spin is good, but I would like to use a little bit more side spin here, as our ball is going to be pushed a little bit too much here to the right, as you will be able to see. So we need a little bit more side spin, not much, just a little bit more. I would go with 1 bar side spin in that type of situation, then we're gonna be fine. We still in the end got the red ring, and that's the beauty with this adjustment, is that even if you're slightly off with your ring system, or like with your spin or whatever, then you're still going to get some of the chests. Or one of the chests. Now we do have some headwind, and we do have crosswind, but more crosswind than we do have headwind. So here we will have to over adjust with the side spin a lot. We have 5.6, which gives us 3.4 rings, as you can see there on the top left. As you can see, I'm using 1 bar side spin to the left with almost 1 bar of top spin. And I would like us to do 1 bar here. There isn't really anything else to just try to go in between, in my opinion. 1 bar is going to be fine. So we adjust the 3.4 and we hit the ball perfect. And we're going to go and bounce as we wanted to. We're coming in here. And as you can see here, we are coming in still slightly to the right. We're getting very close, but that just tells me that when we do have a left to right crosswind in some form, we will have to use more side spin to the left than we would be if the wind would be in the other direction, as we of course deliberately are aiming a little bit to the right of the pin to just find the groove and the slope there to get the ball to fall down towards the pin. 6.1, here we do have a little bit more tailwind than we had before. We still need to use side spin, so we're going to have to go with a little bit here. I'm using 1 bar, which is something that I feel good with of using with a crosswind tailwind type of situation here. 6.1 is going to give us 3.6 rings. And once again, if you are uncomfortable with the ring adjustment, look at the top here. You will see the wind on the left column, and then you have the rings on the right column. We bounce here, we get the one spin here, and as you see here, we're coming very nicely towards the pin. We just need a little smidge of top spin here to be spot on there. So 1 bar of side spin to the left when we do have a crosswind, tailwind, like a northeast type of wind, and then that's perfect. 7.4. Now we basically have straight crosswind. We have a little bit of headwind, so we're going to first aim up with our position. Now we are a little bit short with our landing position, as I can see here. Using 1.5 bar side spin to the right with 1 bar of top spin. But the thing that I forget here is that I do aim already a little bit to the right of the pin, so I don't have to use 1.5 bar. So 1 bar of side spin to the right with this type of wind would be better. As for when we would be playing from the left side, then we would be playing with 1.5 bar side spin instead. But you can see here, we're going to, with our 1.5 bar, we're going to miss this one pretty far on the right side, or like far and far, but at least compared to the shots that we have had before. So, but we're getting this one dialed in now. We're just searching for, oh, nice drop there. We're searching for the spin adjustment, the minor tweaks that is necessary. Now we do have tailwind and crosswind, right to left, sorry, like a northwest wind, and now we're not going to use any spin whatsoever. Whenever you're having a crosswind and a tailwind, northwest type of wind, you're never going to use any spin. You're just going to let the ball do the job. 5.7 is going to give us 3.4 rings. And we're still using the same landing position, the red ring just slightly before the rough, with then in the end, get in! Ooh, close, and we say by the yellow ring there. So with the second bounce, I was about to say at the edge there of the dark row. So in the end, we got the yellow ring here. Nice one. We get some good cards. I think it's time now to get ourselves an hole-in-one. That's something that we do want to have. So we do have a 6.2. Now we do have a little bit more crosswind than we do have tailwind. So in the end, we're still going to use the same type of method, playing from the right, like with the landing position as we're having, and we're going to use no spin, no top, no back, no side spin, and just going to play this one 3.7 rings. Beauty of a rock. 3.7 rings for the 6.2. And we hit the ball perfect. Get in the hole. We bounce there very nicely and looks good, and looks straight at the pin and get in. Boom. Get in the hole. Very nice one there. Good speed. Good, of course. This good good shot overall. So I like that. Now we're going to see what we can get as good cards here. We do have the quarterback, 26 cards. And we do have the rapier, 13 cards, and then we do have some hammer cards, which is not bad, but I already had that one maxed out. And of course, some lovely berserkers. Once again, we do have a tailwind, crosswind. You can see how good this side is when it comes to making a hole-in-one with this type of method. So if you do get this type of win, consider yourself being a little bit more lucky than the rest. So here we can see we do have the red ring just slightly before the rough. And then we do have the second bounce just there by the dark row of the green squares. 7.3 is going to be 4.3 rings. We hit the ball perfect. And it bounce, and it bounce, and it bounce, and it rolls. Get in hole! Lovely, another hole-in-one. Can we finish it with 3 in a row? That we most certainly can. Obsidian chest in the house. Let's see what we do get as cards here. Machete cards. We do have some extra mile cards, which is good. Then some firefly cards and Nirvana. Nirvana, good. Good drop. Good up, and also some Berserkers here as well. That one pack of Berserker is very, very valuable. Now we do have some crosswind left to right. And as we do have straight crosswind left to right, I'm going to use 2 bars of side spin to the left. But I'm also going to use a half a bar of top spin as I'm having a crosswind. So then we do need to first find the landing position, then we add the spin, then we take a look at our chart. 4.1 rings is what we're going to go with, and then we are going to, in the end, of course, hit the ball perfect. So once again, you can use the chart on the top left, which is going to be super helpful for you. But of course, if you're using some form of device that calculates the rings for you, then you can definitely use that as well. That's why we have the on the bottom right with the golden long iron max distance with a 10% over adjustment, 1.66 per ring. Have in mind that all the wind rings here is included with a 10%. So I've included that already, so that's why you can't see that. That's why you might, if you're counting without the 10%, you're going to see that that's going to be a slight difference. But we're going to have to add 10% all the time. So we're going to summarize this one with the spin adjustment here, and we're going to take a look at tailwind. Here we're going to use half a bar of side spin to the left, no back spin, no top spin, half a bar of side spin to the left only. Everything is based on the landing position that we have had in the video, and we're going to show it there in the end before we end here. Crosswind, tailwind, right to left, no spin whatsoever. That one dropped two hole-in-ones here, which was nice. Crosswind and tailwind left to right. Here we need to use 1.5 bar side spin, and depending on, of course, the angle, sometimes it would be better to maybe use 1 and a smidge bar side spin, and sometimes it's better to use 1.5, and that's so hard to detail it in. But I would go with as reference 1.5 bar side spin to the left with a crosswind, tailwind left to right. Crosswind left to right, then we're going to play half a bar of topspin with 2 bars of side spin to the left. You can see the hole-in-one there in the end, and that was a perfect example for that. If we do have a crosswind right to left, then we're going to go with still half a bar of topspin, but we're going to use 1 bar side spin to the right. The reason being is that we are aiming deliberately from the start to the right of the pin, so we only need 1 bar, otherwise we're going to over adjust our shot. Crosswind, headwind, right to left, 1 bar of topspin, no side spin whatsoever, based on the crosswind, tailwind situation we have on the top. So therefore, we're only going to use 1 bar topspin to compensate for the headwind. Crosswind, headwind, left to right, 1 bar of topspin and 1.5 bar side spin to the left. And last but not least, headwind, 1.5 bar topspin and half a bar of side spin to the left. So there you have it, everyone. And we're gonna take a look just real quick at the landing position here in the end. Second bounce on the top, like on the right side of the dark row there, as you can see, like just on the cutoff there between the darker and the brighter one, combined with the first bounce, you can see the red ring just being very close to the rough, not completely there, but very close. And just to give ourselves a more clear line there, you can see I did draw with a little lovely pen here on the computer to give you a straight line, so to get yourself an even better reference. So long video, but in more in-depth video for the golden shot. Please let me know in the comment section below what you got in your chest. Did you get anything? And also what cards did you get? Are you happy with those? Also, let me know if you liked the video by pressing the thumbs up button. Once again, thank you so much for watching this guide, and good luck in the golden shot.